guys, Chris Cox here for another Kiss guitar lesson. This is lesson 21 and this is going to be Strange Ways off the Hotter Than Hell album. We'll start with the introduction riff, which is also the riff that's played through the verses. So it starts off as... So let's go through and name the chords off first. So the first chord is a G5 chord, which is also a power chord, and that's 3rd fret of the low E, 5th fret of the A. We're going to shift down a whole step, which is 2 frets, to the 1st fret of the low E, and then the 3rd fret of the A, and play the F. And then we play this A sharp chord, which is going to be on the 1st fret of the A string, 3rd fret of the D. So we have this much. So you should note that when you're playing these chords, these power chords, you're only plucking the strings that are your fretting. So as I'm playing this, I'm only playing the low E and A string. When I'm playing this, I'm only playing the A and D string. The rest I'm kind of muting with my palm and laying my fingers across the strings to keep all the string noise down. So we have this so far. And then we have a similar riff just played up higher, and this is going to be on the C power chord to the A sharp power chord. So the C power chord is going to be on the 8th fret of the low E, 10th fret of the A. And then we have the A sharp 5 chord, which is going to be 6th fret of the low E and 8th fret of the A. So same similar riff, kind of pattern of the rhythm. But this time we're going to land on the D sharp, which is going to be 6th fret of the A and 8th fret of the D. And then we shift down a half step, which is 1 fret, and end on the D5, which is the 5th fret of the A and 7th fret of the D. So let's play what we have together so far. Okay, so that goes through the entire verse. As we're getting ready to go into the chorus, we'll play this last part. And we get back up to the G and F and go. And then we stop that chorus, so just a down, down, down. Then we're going to shift back down to the 8th fret and 6th fret. Play that C power chord to the A sharp. Shift back to the G and F. Now this is the only different part. We're playing the F power chord, but we're going to play it up an octave higher, which means we're going to have our first finger on the 3rd fret of the D, ring finger, pinky finger on the 5th fret of the G string, and we're going to play, and that's going to be the F, that's going to be the G, which is going to be a whole step up. So that would be 5th fret and 7th fret. 5th fret of the D, 7th fret of the G. And then ends on the low F, which is here the 1st fret and 3rd fret of the A and E. So let's play that together. This is the ending of the chorus. We play a. So that's going to be a G power chord. It's going to be on the 10th fret of the A, 12th fret of the D. And that's an F power chord at the 8th fret of the A string, 10th fret of the D. And then we go back to that C power chord, which is the 8th fret of the low E and the 10th fret of the A. So we play this. You see how I'm kind of basically stopping those strings from ringing, so it's kind of tight. And then we go back into the intro and the verse. So if you have those chords down, you pretty much got most of 90% of the rhythm. The only thing that's different is under the rhythm, the rhythm guitar underneath the solo, and it sounds like this. this is the chords you're going to play underneath that guitar solo. So the first part is familiar riff. So from the G to F, we stop it. Let that A sharp ring, and then we go from A sharp to C. Then we're going to go up to that octave higher, F and G. And finish on the lower F. Pattern, that rhythm pattern plays through 2 times, and then we get back into the same groove that we had during the intro and the verses. So let me play that together. Now back into the original groove. That is all of the rhythm guitar parts. Now there is a fill in the chorus, and basically we'll go over that real quick. It's going to basically, you're going to play the G and B strings together. We're going to start on the 13th fret of the G, the 11th fret of the B string, and you're playing these strings together, and it creates a chordal sound. And at the top of the bend, you're going to add some vibrato on the G string, not the B string. So we have. Now we're going to shift to the 13th fret of the B string, 10th fret of the A string. Do the same thing. You're playing the B and the E string together. Did I say A string or E string? So 13th fret of the B string, 10th fret of the high E string, and you're playing that together. And this, again, you can add some vibrato at the very end, but you're playing those strings together. So it sounds like this. Repeats again. Now, for the last part, we're going to shift up to the 18th fret of the B string, 15th fret of the high E, and play the. So again, playing those 2 strings, the B and high E together. Hear the difference, but so we're coming into the solo, and we have that, you know, that last fill we're playing, and then we have a, and basically that is on the 18th fret of the B string. We're bending up, and it's an overbend, but I'm kind of playing these little, and I'm stopping the ringing of the string with the pick, so it's. Now, we're going to slide all the way down to what that would be the 17th, 19th, I think it's 21st fret on the low E. And once you do that, you're going to bend and pull the string down. Okay, so we have this so far. Now we're going to jump down the neck And that's a slide from the 3rd fret of the D to the 5th fret. And then we're grabbing this A sharp note on the G string, which is the 3rd fret. Then we're pivoting back and forth from the C to A sharp note. And then we bend up. So we have. And it's the same, similar how we did this. We're using that same technique. And then from there we're doing a pull off, which is going to be from the C of the 5th fret of the G to the 3rd fret of the G, and then open G string. So it's and then that last part is just a bend up. So you bend the note up, come back down. So let's play what we have so far. Okay, so from here, this is probably maybe the hardest part of the solo for me. It was anyways, this little climb. And so basically, you're sliding down to the 7th fret of the G, and you're playing the 8th fret of the B string and 10th fret. And you're having to jump down to the 15th fret of the high E, and then grab 15th fret there on the high E and 15th fret on the B and bend up. So it sounds like. So let's play that in together a little bit with that last part. Now that little descending run there is a little chromatic pattern from the 15th fret, 14th fret, 13th fret of the B. So that's 15, 14, 13, and then 15 on the G. And then we go back to the 13th fret on the B. From there we play the shifting from the 15 to the 12th to the 10th on the G string. So we have this. And then from there, the last part is a 12th fret of the D, 10th fret of the D to the 8th fret. So we have this. So we play that little run. Oops. Okay. From here, we're going to shift back down the neck again. And that's where we're bending up on the G string at the 5th fret. And we're grabbing the 3rd fret of the high E. So we bend up. And then we end on the 3rd fret of the G. Okay. So let's play the whole solo of what we have so far. Now we go into the last part, which is where this guitar solo part is underneath the main rhythm of the intro song and the verse. So when we shift from here and we play that, we go all the way down to we're working with the 15th fret at the high E to the 18th fret. I'm doing a okay? And that's just a hammer-on pull-off from the 15th to the 18th on the high E. And then we're going to pivot back and forth from the 18th to 15th. And then we're going to do a full bend on the high E. And then we're going to shift over to the B string and do a, let that trail off. And that trill is going to be, hammer-on pull-off is going to be from the 15th to the 18th. So we got, and then we're just doing a bend. Full bend on the 18th fret of the high E. We do that slide again on the low E to the 21st fret. And we go up here and play this chordal riff, which is like. Now that chordal riff is played on the G and B string. Now I'm using a hybrid picking technique. You could do, you probably could chord this into a like that, but I like how it sounds with plucking with the fingers. But the first part you're going to pluck with the open G and B, and then you're going to fret on the 3rd fret of the G and B. Now we're going to go to the 6th fret, same 2 strings, G and B, and we're going to do I'm going to pluck it, and then I'm going to basically slide down to the 5th. Now, from there, I'm going to pivot from this G note, which is the 5th fret of the D, to back to the 3rd fret of the B and G. Now, from there, we're doing a hammer-on pull-off on the G from the 3rd and 5th fret. And then I'm landing back at the G note on the 5th fret of the D. And I end on the A sharp note, which is the 3rd fret of the G string, to downstroke. So let's play that little riff again. Okay, and then we're doing a little run here that starts still in the same kind of 3rd position area. So we're doing a. Now I'm just plucking the A string here one time, and I'm hammering on the 3rd, the 4th and 5th fret of the A string. And then I'm grabbing that F note on the 3rd fret of the D. We shift down to the D string, play the exact same riff, just on different strings. And that's going to be one pluck, hammer on, pick. So we have. Now the second time through, there's like a run. Now I've listened to this track many times, and I've actually watched some live versions of Ace playing it, Tommy Thayer playing it, various people playing it, and it is definitely kind of muddy sounding on the original recording. So might not have every single note exactly right on this part, but it will work. Yeah, I think it sounds pretty cool too. So let's play it slowly. Now we're going to do. We're pulling off from the 3rd fret of the D string, and then we're hammering on the 3rd, 4th, and fret. So we have. And then we're doing another hammer-on pull-off from the 3rd fret of the D string to the 5th fret of the G string. So it's. So we have. Let's play it. I'm playing it up to speed again. So we have some hammer-on pull-offs there on the G and B string. So we have. So we're hammer on, pull off, hammer back on, hammer on, pull off from the 3rd fret of the B to the 6th fret of the B, so we got to stretch a little bit. Now, when we do this last pull off, we're actually going to just do a pull off on the 6th fret of the high E to the 3rd fret of the high E. So from there we do a pull off, and we're playing from the 6th to the 3rd fret of the high E. And you can pick that or pull off from the 6th fret to the 3rd fret on the B. And then we're bending up on that. This will be an F note. And we're going to end on that A sharp note on the 3rd fret of the G. So the whole thing. We're going to shift up again. We're working within the 17th and 15th and 18th frets, so we're doing a So I'm basically bending up on the G string on the 17th fret, and I'm actually chording these two together, so I'm playing the G and the B together. And I'm grabbing that 15th fret of the high E. And then I'm pulling off from the 18th fret of the B to the 15th fret. So we have this so far. And it's a triplet. I think that plays through 4 times, and then we do a, and that's just a, and then we end on that little bend up on the 17th fret of the G. So we have a, and that is just bend up. That's the 17th fret, bends, partial bend up, grab the 15th fret of the B. The pull off is going to occur from the 18th fret of the B to the 15th fret. Okay, so let's go ahead, turn on the flange unit. I'm going to play the whole solo through very slowly, so you can hear what it sounds like with the effect. Probably would work with a phaser pedal too. So let's start, here we go.